Thank you, Sachin, and I just want to, add on behalf of the staff and the entire network, we thank you, Sachin, for your leadership in planning this year's conference. It is the biggest conference ever. I think part of that was because of the theme and the good planning. Leading change together is a theme that pretty much every proposal can fit under. So we've set a good bar. And I'm really looking forward, Sachin, to working with you as the board president over the next year. That's our tradition at AUCD. We make the president-elect work really hard, and then they can coast as the board president for a year. Not really. I also want to acknowledge we have some international visitors in the audience, and I think one of the exciting things about our network is the impact and the recognition of our network globally continues to grow. There's a group here from the State Department's International Visitor Leadership Program from South Asia. We have delegates from NGOs doing disability rights work. They're right here in the front. And they're from India, Nepal, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. So welcome to our international visitors. Tomorrow we will have professional fellows here from Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, so it's nice to see the AUCD network influence continues to spread. So I'm really excited and happy to thank our conference sponsors, led again this year by JP Chase. And is Pia Zaragoza here somewhere from JP Chase? Yes, Pia. So Pia is a vice president in charge of IT accessibility research for JP Chase out of San Francisco, and she's autistic, and she went to our Council on Research and Evaluation meeting yesterday and wants to collaborate with us on research. And that, to me, is a great example of the value of having these partnerships because it can create synergies with the folks in these companies who are interested in our capacity to partner with them. So we have JP Chase and Anthem and Centene back as top sponsors this year. We're also delighted to have Walmart, Sprint Accessibility, Verizon, Uber, Archer Daniels Midland, and AmChip back again this year as returning sponsors. And then we have a number of first-time sponsors, including Facebook, CVS Health, Biogen, Airbnb, Pearson, Accenture, I apologize to the sign language interpreter. The Utah Mental Health and Developmental Disabilities Training Center, and the National Deaf Center on Post-Secondary Outcomes. Let's hear it for all of our sponsors. And if anybody is here representing one of those sponsors, if you could raise your hand or stand up, I just want to acknowledge any of the folks in the room from the sponsors. I know there are folks coming later today. Is there one in the back? Great. Welcome. Welcome. Many of our exhibitors are new this year, and please be sure to visit them in the registration foyer over the next couple of days. We have a fun exhibitor dash game this year to participate in, to meet all of the exhibitors and be entered to win a prize. So get more information on that at the registration area. And as Sachin mentioned, our total conference revenues from sponsors and exhibitors this year was over $140,000, a 12% increase over last year, and the highest conference fundraising number in our history. So again, we're very grateful. Many of our conference sponsors also support AUCD's annual gala in the spring, and our 2020 gala will be on April 22nd with a theme this year of celebrating leadership in the arts and culture, along with the 30th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. One of the reasons AUCD engages in private sector fundraising is to attract unrestricted funding that we can use to support attendance at our conference and other important events by early career professionals, disability leaders, family leaders, and others. We have 3 people attending the conference this year with scholarship support from AUCD. Can those conference scholarship recipients this year please stand or wave to be recognized? Great. So I just want to point out, I just completed 6 years as the AUCD Executive Director. I started right before a conference, so this is actually my 7th conference, and I'm grateful to all of the association presidents who have helped me lead AUCD since I began in 2013, including Julie Fodor, who led the committee that hired me, Leslie Cohen, Olivia Rayner, Karen Edwards, Celia Feinstein, Bruce Kiesling, and Amy Hewitt. Let's hear it for all of them. Thank you. Breaking in a bipolar lawyer with limited experience in higher education to succeed the multi-talented George Jeshin was no small feat. And I know that I have benefited from the coaching, commiserating, and encouragement that I have received from all of these individuals who gave so much of their precious time to serve on the board for a long time. Bruce, I think, gets the record for the longest service on the board. I know you've been on the board the whole time I've been here, but how many years is it on the board? 7 years on the board, so you're ready for a sabbatical. I'm excited to work with Sachin Pavithran as our incoming president and Tawara Good after Sachin, who will chair next year's conference and be our president-elect. I also want to thank and acknowledge AUCD's extraordinarily talented and committed staff, and I appreciate Sachin's recognition. But I want to recognize all the staff, not just the folks who worked on the conference, on the core planning group, because this staff collectively works together to advance our mission with skill, grace, and passion. When he came to visit our office last August, I told my friend Wade Henderson, the former CEO of the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights, that ours was the most talented and committed staff that I have ever had the pleasure of working with, and I meant it. Please join me in recognizing the hard work of AUCD's wonderful staff. In 2020, we celebrate 30 years of ADA, and in 2021, AUCD will mark its 50th anniversary as an association. Both of these milestone anniversaries invite reflection on what we have accomplished as a network since our first centers were created in the 1960s and what we hope to achieve in the decades to come. Collectively, the AUCD network is improving the interdisciplinary preparation of diverse professionals who serve the disability community, enhancing our knowledge of human genetics and basic brain science, expanding the use of positive behavioral interventions and supports in classrooms and other settings, opening up higher education for students with intellectual disabilities, expanding participation in the competitive labor force for a new generation of workers with disabilities, improving patient-centered, culturally competent medical care, and enhancing self-determination, health and wellness, and community integration for millions of children and adults with developmental and other disabilities. The work we do every day has a real impact on people's lives, and we should be proud of what our network has evolved into from its early days as university-affiliated facilities. And yet, as we all know, we still have a long way to go to realize the promise of the ADA, the Developmental Disabilities Act, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, the Autism Cares Act, and the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. My hope and expectation is that our work will become more multilingual, more multicultural, more global, and more oriented around collective impact in the years to come. When I describe AUCD to friends and colleagues, I like to say we are a $650 million network with 133 different federally funded centers and programs. There is an opportunity and a challenge built into the fact that we represent a diverse and multifaceted network of centers and programs that each function in different university, cultural, and political contexts. I believe that if we can learn to work more collectively with multiple centers and programs deciding together to take on an initiative, we will be able to partner more effectively with national and global entities like the World Health Organization, the World Bank, or the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. If we are able to prioritize collective impact in the years to come, I believe that we will please our long-term federal partners, reach and learn from new populations, and attract new and powerful partners like foundations, corporations, foreign governments, and multilateral bodies like the World Bank. As you experience the range of talent, subject matter expertise, passion, language capacity, and disciplines represented at this conference, try to imagine if all of this expertise were applied in an integrated strategy to have a collective impact in every state and territory and around the world. Last spring, Douglas Jackson from our Miami UCED and LEND and Elizabeth Holliday Morgan from our Sacramento UCED and LEND traveled together to Nairobi, Kenya to present together at a Pan-African conference on autism, and that has led to follow-up activities for both of them with partners in Africa. Imagine if their autism work in Africa was fully integrated across the whole AUCD network with support from global funders like the Ford Foundation. The possibilities for us to accelerate progress and expand knowledge around the world are truly breathtaking, but to accomplish true collective impact, we will need to learn to collaborate more frequently, to make decisions together, and then put resources against those decisions. AAPD will help convene and support that decision-making, and everyone at this conference has an opportunity to participate in the collective impact of our work moving forward. I'm excited about the future of AUCD, and I'm excited about the role our network will play in supporting a global movement advancing human rights for children and adults with disabilities, including people who have significant support needs.